March of 2014, and I'm standing with my wife Laura in the snow at the base of the Mount Washington Auto Road. And they've invited me on this press junket to go to the top of Mount Washington, riding up there in a snowcat, and Laura's agreed to come along. And I'm a little surprised Laura said yes to this, because she is not a March lover. And regardless of the season, when I organize an adventure for us, sometimes things don't go as planned. Maybe she said yes to this because I wasn't the organizer. But I knew I was taking a chance inviting her because, you know, Mount Washington is home of the world's worst weather and the highest recorded wind speed and all that. And on the other hand, we'd be led up the mountain by the people who know Mount Washington the best. And we'd go up in heated snowcat, we'd go up to the heated observatory. As Chris said in his story, what could possibly go wrong? What could go wrong? That is the question Laura needs to ask when I invite her on an adventure. So anyway, there's about 10 of us. We get in the snowcat and we start motoring up the road, and as we do, a light snow begins to fall. And actually, if I had to be honest with myself, it's starting to come down. Everybody's chatting away in the cab, but I get this knot in my stomach. You know, the weather could be rugged up there. You see, when I organize an adventure and it goes well, it's a big win for me and for Laura. But when it doesn't go well, there's a cost. Laura's confidence in me rises and falls based on the success of our last adventure. So I've gotten more conservative about these invitations. Not so at the beginning, when we were first dating. Oh my God, you know, the first time we got in the canoe together, we went through rapid backwards. First time we got in a sailboat, dunked her in the Pacific. It took a while to live those down, and in fact, Laura has not forgotten. So anyway, now we're further up the trail, up the auto road, and it's snowing hard, and we come out above the tree line at mile 4, and we're greeted by total whiteout. The wind is whipping the snow all around us, and the ice forms, and the ice and frost forms on the inside of the glass. We can't see anything at all. And the driver, who's in a separate compartment, he comes on the intercom, he says, "I'm not going to move unless I can see something in front of me." And I'm like, oh no, I'm going to pay for this one. Because we're in this tiny, tight, claustrophobic compartment, and where we are is perched on the edge of the Great Gulf on Mount Washington. The Great Gulf is called the Great Gulf because it's so steep and so deep that calling it a ravine just wouldn't do. It's a precipice, and it's right there. So Laura's starts to scratch at the frost on the glass. I'm sitting opposite her, and I can see in her eyes she's starting to panic. She is not happy to be here. She is really not happy with me for bringing her here. And, you know, she turns and she stares right at me, and she says, and her voice is just above a whisper, she says, "I want to get out." And I assure her that is not a good idea. But she is convinced that we are 1 foot away from sliding to our deaths. It doesn't help that we're only moving in fits and starts about every 6 feet because the driver can't see where he's going. And so the driver, you know, I mean, we're just not going to get anywhere at this time. You know, it's going to take until summer to get up there. And so he finally just gives up on it. He says, "We're turning around," and we're all good with that, except for Laura. Laura grabs my hands, fingernails are digging in. She says, she thinks that in the act of turning around in that tight space that we're going to be pitched over the edge to our deaths. But we survive the turn, and we start heading back down the mountain, 6 feet at a time. It's at this point that the ex-Marine sitting behind us slumps to the floor. He's passed out, panic attack, car sick, something, but we have to get some fresh air in the cab. So we opened the doors. This is how fresh the air was. Neg 10, 90 miles an hour, snow blowing sideways so hard it hurts. We revived the Marine. And continue on our way down the mountain. And when we get down below tree line, there's a palpable sense of relief. Certainly I'm relieved. But Laura's expression does not relax. When we get to the bottom, everybody says quick goodbyes, and they scatter to their cars. No one wants to admit they were scared out of their minds. And in our car, Laura is silent, staring straight ahead. It's a long ride back to Peterborough. Later, Laura will classify this adventure as one of her top 5 worst experiences of her life. And as for me, well, once again, I've helped Laura answer that question, what could possibly go wrong? The answer always seems to be, we'll just have to find out.